you should determine the purpose of the blend even before you start making a blend. So I want to take 1, 2, 3 spoons of this, and I want to take 1 spoon of this because it was fruity and jammy. This one is more balanced, but this one has got a very different fruitier note towards it. I like the previous combination better, which is so in this video what we are doing. This is like a follow-up video of the last video that we spoke about single origins and blends. I was going to tell you about the approach that I take while making a blend. We also spoke about you should determine the purpose of the blend even before you start making a blend. All right, so you cannot just go to the table and just start tasting coffees and create something or the other without having a particular goal. So for example, you need to at least basic know, are you going to go for an espresso blend, are you going for a cold brew blend, or are you going for a filter coffee blend? So today what we're going to do is we're going to aim for a espresso blend. Now in this espresso blend, what we should look for is nice body, nice richness in the creaminess in the body, the heaviness in the body, and also I want a little bit of subtle note of say fruity flavor in that. All right, this is how I approach blending. This is one of the ways that I approach blending actually, and these are all post roast blend. This is not a pre roast blending. We spoke about pre roast and post roast in the prior video, so I'll just touch on that point again. Pre-roast is where you basically mix the green beans, make a batch of that, and then design a profile and roast. Post-roast is basically if there are two coffees that you're gonna blend, you're just gonna roast each individually, alright? And then after roasting is done, after the batches are done, you mix them in whatever ratio you've decided. That is post-roast blending. Now, as you can see, we've got like 7 cups in front of us, right? And the idea is that you taste each and every coffee. After a point of time, you kind of try to mix and match. So you take 2 spoons of this, 3 spoons of this, mix it and have a sip. That is how you'll get an idea of basically how this blend could go along. All right, these coffees are made in a pour over. Pour over because it's quite simple to make. You can do it in the cupping as well, cupping format also. So let's begin. So let's dig deeper. Now you can see that I've got 4 cups in front of me. Each coffee is different. There's a different coffee, this is a different coffee, this is a different. The point is that I first taste one of the coffees, alright? I understand how this coffee is, how this coffee is, how this coffee is, how this coffee is. I taste these coffees. And then after that, as per my experience and my understanding, I start blending it in these 2 cups. So I might take 2 spoons of this, 1 spoon of this, put in this, taste it, it could be a blend. I could take 2 of this, 3 of this, 4 of this, 1 of this, right? That's how we'll try to figure out. But individually, first you have to remember. So that's why your target should be locked. We're making an espresso blend. Now, I'm just making mental note as we go ahead. Uh, okay, so this for the espresso I think would be a good base because it's got those white chocolate and spicy kind of notes to it. Not overwhelmingly spicy, but then it has got a good white chocolate note to it. So this could be a base probably. This has got a thin body, has got a green appleish kind of a flavor to it because it's drying out my palate. Wow, this I certainly want. This I certainly want in the blend. This is really like jasmine and has got a nice finish, has got a beautiful acidity, delicate acidity, I would say. Alright, this and this, these 2 coffees seem to be pretty much the same. So I'm not sure if I want these 2 coffees, but let's try. Now, the first thing that I want to try is one thing is set, which is this. So I want to take 1, 2, 3 spoons of this, and I will take 1 spoon of this because it was fruity and jammy. Apart from that, what I want is I want this as a base that I think that it would work. So I'll take two parts of this. I'll take one part of this and one part of this. And now here is where the entire thing starts. Wow, this is great. Now the important point over here is that you should not know what coffee you are tasting, right? You'll have a predetermined notion regarding the prices there. So make sure that you don't know what coffee it is, because certain coffees will be expensive, certain coffees will be cheaper, and then while creating a blend, you'll have that in your mind. So I go with the approach of quality first, then comes the price, because if the quality is great, the price the guests are ready to pay. So yeah, coming back. So I find this one much more balanced. Not balanced, I would say. This one is more balanced, but this one has got a very different fruitier note towards it. Plus, at the same time, it has got nice big body. I want to try one more thing now. We did three in one. Let's try three parts of this. Why I'm trying to do three parts of this is because this coffee and this coffee are pretty much the same. So I want to see how this one works. And in the second one, I want to make sure that this is a part of the coffee. This is a part of the blend. And I want to blend in this one part and these two parts. Right? And now let's try. No, a simple, very basic comparison it is. Earlier we had taken three parts of this, one part of this. Right now we have taken three parts of this and one part of this. I like the previous combination better, which is, and now let's try this one. Nah, I think still these two work out together. So basically here we are just trying to make a permutation and combination as to which composition should work, right? Okay, so first of all, this is not a particular way for espresso blend. Okay. Blends, I approach this way itself, right? It's be it cold brew, be it espresso, be it filter. It's the same methodology, same mindset. The only thing is that you need to lock your target पहले. It should not be कि while tasting you're like हाँ ठीक है अच्छा ठीक है ये espresso में बैठेगा ये filter में बैठेगा. It doesn't work like that. It's going to be very tricky. And right now we are just doing with 4 coffees. Over a period of time we'll get like 30 coffees on the table. So the amount of permutation, combination and everything that goes along is just highly insane. It is really, really tricky. So I wouldn't say that I always look for this in the espresso blend, but right now with the way the guests are interacting and the way everybody is responding, um, so that's one thing is for sure. Bitter coffee is not what they want. They want a little bit of slightly fruitier note towards it. So I want to give out a very balanced body, very thick, heavy body, and a little bit of nutty and spicy note towards it. Plus, uh, slightly aftertaste of or an experience of a fruitier coffee, right? Fruitier, flowery, that kind of coffee. But here we are not saying that we want like a very acidic and a fruitier or flowery cup. There has to be an undertone or a aftertaste for that for the espresso blend, right? Like even I can't consume acidic espresso. You know, like the thin and bittery and acrid and sharp kind of espresso I can't have. So that's why we need like a imagine a dark chocolate with an orange note. You know, that is what we're looking out for uh, as against what just orange. You know, and also yeah, there's high probability that if you're going for an espresso blend, you select this composition. If you go for a filter blend, probably you'll again select the same composition. So there is no right and wrong in that. You should not be It's not mutually exclusive. So for the filter cup, I tend to go for single origins more. I want to highlight the single origins more rather than making a blend, to be very, very honest. Because if you see, we don't have any particular blend for filter. We've just been focusing on single origins. Why? I don't have a particular answer to it, but I feel each single origin coffee, the potential of it gets exposed more on the filter profile as against the espresso profile. That's not a notion, that's not a thumb rule again, but it's a different conversation. But that's what to make things easy, I go with that thought. That's about it. But if I want to make a filter blend, I'll go with the same approach. But what am I looking out for that is probably I'll go for the complexity. Alright, I won't go for the nuttiness and chocolatiness for that, but I'll go for the complexity of the coffee blend in itself. So let's say I've got a flavor of jackfruit in one, I've got a flavor of peach in one, alright, which we already have such coffees. At times, a combination of both would not go well, right? But a combination of a chocolatey coffee versus and a jackfruit coffee might go better. The approach is all going to be the same. It's going to be the same. If I'm making a filter blend, I'm going to have these 30, 40, 50 cups on the table. However, whatever the coffees we've got roasted in different profiles and all this, or on a cupping table. So you cup, make an individual score for the same, make individual notes for the same, and then you start blending it out. So the skill over here actually is not just tasting, but remembering which coffee tasted like what. Right. To compare. No, to compose. Because you've got like so many coffees, so many different profiles altogether. So that's why I never go with the costing pehle, because it will always limit you in that way. Alright, cool. So this was how I approach blending. Alright, this is a very simplified version, let me tell you that you've got 4 cups in front of you. When you do blending, it's a real big task because you've got these notes, you've got these tons of coffees around, and then you have to make a composition out of all. But if you want to start practicing, I would say start practicing on 4 cups or 5 cups, and then you start going ahead. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. If you have any sort of questions, please hit in the comment section below, and please share, like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.